eating habits and routines as to something that you're not enjoying and you won't keep up. And if you do keep it up, it's not good for you. A lot of people will reduce calories where it's detrimental to their body. So when you do that, you start burning muscle instead of fat. And again, that can cause, issues. I had a friend who lost 40 pounds when I was on my weight loss journey, and he basically starved himself. He was having one meal every other day. And he says, well, I'm going to show you how to lose weight. You don't need to do what you're doing. I said, okay. Well, when he did lose the weight, he looked at me one day and he says, are your arms flabby? I said, no. And his was. And he says, can you lift more than 15 pounds? I said, of course. Why? He says, I'm not able to. He says, I'm going to go to a gym and hire a trainer. So after a couple of weeks, he called me and I said, how's it going? He goes, good. I said, what'd your trainer say? He says, I'm not eating enough. And that's why I'm losing muscle instead of fat. And I need to eat more to maintain my body, especially when I'm doing physical activity. So get educated on how to lose weight in a healthy and, more importantly, sustainable way.
Right. Thank you, David, for that. So let's talk about being healthy at any size, right? I'd like you to talk about that. And I want to emphasize that any size, right? Being healthy at any size. Is it possible to attain this?
Yes. And what I tell people is the scale lies. Because what happens, people will make a New Year's resolution and they'll start exercising for 3 or 4 weeks at the gym and eating healthy, and the scale's not going down. What's happening is they're replacing muscle, they're replacing the fat with muscle. And 5 pounds of fat is the exact same as 5 pounds of muscle. They weigh the same. However, muscle is denser, so it takes up less space. So one of my clients had that issue after 3 weeks. He didn't lose any weight. So I asked him, I said, well, are you exercising or doing more physical activity? He said, yes, I'm walking 5 miles every day and riding my bike. I said, how are your clothes fitting? He goes, oh, they're loose. And people are asking me if I'm losing weight. The scale doesn't indicate it. I said, don't go by the scale, go by your clothes. So people who are a little bit larger, they can still be healthy. It's all, it's just a matter of maybe getting some exercise, and exercise is great for overall health and fitness. However, people use exercise to lose weight, and that's the wrong way to do it, because people tend to overestimate how many calories they burn and underestimate how many calories they actually consume because they're hungrier. So it's a kind of a myth. And one of the examples I use is Biggest Loser participants. 66% of the contestants on Biggest Loser have regained all their weight, some even more. And only a few have kept it all off. So that's what I tell people is, look, it's a lifestyle. It's how you eat, when you eat, what you eat, where you eat. And the biggest issue is not drinking enough water. In the United States, 75% of the US adult population is chronically dehydrated. Our bodies are 60 to 70% water, not soda, not diet soda, not fruit juices. Yet people drink more soda and diet soda and fruit juices than water. Well, if your body's 60 to 70% water, why wouldn't you drink more pure water? So there's a direct correlation between 75% of people being chronically dehydrated and 72% being overweight. The other thing is, what a lot happens is we think we're hungry, we're actually thirsty. And if you look at it this way, people can go 30, 40 days without food and survive. However, most people can't go more than 3 or 4 days without water. And, people will drink a lot of coffee or herbal tea. Some people drink only soda. And so they're putting liquid into their body, but it's not healthy for them. So that's what I tell people is it's not only about your size, it's also about health, because you can eat healthy and still be a little bit larger. It just maybe you need some toning through exercise and fitness.
Right. That's some work to do, David, isn't it?
Yes. And Rebel Wilson lost a lot of weight, and all she did was start walking 1 hour each day. It was just, a brisk walk. And you start out gradually, maybe walk 10 or 15 minutes and then increase it. You don't have to walk an hour, a half hour, 45 minutes is great. Just do some physical activity. with everybody on lockdown over the past couple of years, people weren't able to get out and walk and do physical activity.
Right, definitely. Now, to you, what it has to be a lifestyle.
Exactly.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right. So I want us to quickly talk about your book and Break the Chains of Dieting. Can you quickly share with my audience some important health diets that we can take from the book?
Sure. I give in the book, if I can hold it up and show them. There's 9 principles that I've discovered that are must-have for healthy and sustainable weight loss. And I give those 9 principles out. Most people will say, well, I know that. Well, we all know what to do. We just don't do it. And we may know what to do. We may not know how to do it. However, the 9 principles, the first one and most important, as I talked earlier, is drink more pure water. And people always say, well, how much should I drink as far as water? The minimum should be 64 ounces or 1/2 of your total body weight. So somebody weighed 200 pounds, they should drink at least 100 ounces of water a day. The second thing is to avoid processed and manufactured foods. And the third thing is to eat more organic foods, mostly plants, if they can, whenever possible. You just want to eat whole, real foods, not manufactured foods. The other thing, number 4, is eat slower. We all are in a hurry. We're either eating at our desk while we're working, watching TV. In the United States, people are going through the drive-through, eating in their car where they're driving. And before you know it, the food is gone. It's like, well, where did it go? We're not paying attention to the food we're eating. Number 5, eat small portions. In the United States, our portion sizes have been supersized without people realizing it. In the 1900s, the average size dinner plate was 9 inches in diameter. Today, it's 12 inches. In restaurants, it's 13 to 15 inches. Yet in Europe, it's still 9 inches in diameter for a dinner size plate. So I tell people, use a salad plate. And if you go to a restaurant, get a to-go box right away, cut your meal in half, take half to go, and eat the other half. So you get 2 meals for the price of one, and you're saving money at the same time. The next thing is, which is very important, is to get adequate sleep. What they found in doing research is if you get less than adequate sleep of 7 to 8 hours, and that's quality sleep, most people will consume an extra 500 calories the next day. Well, to lose weight, you have to reduce your caloric intake by 500 calories per day for an entire week. So if you're not getting enough sleep, you're going the wrong direction. And that's when people start drinking the energy drinks and the other stuff to keep them awake. That's not healthy for you. So yeah, and the other thing is, in the United States, the average person is consuming 3,600 calories per day. The nutritional fact panels are based on 2,000 calories per day. Yet, if you're a female and you're not physically active, you only need 1,250 to 1,500 calories per day. And if you're a male, anywhere from 1,250 to 1,750 calories a day. So the nutritional fat panels are based on a higher caloric intake than we actually need. So that's what I tell people. People don't realize how many calories are in some of the foods they're eating. They think salads are healthy. However, it's the croutons, the salad dressing, the nuts, the other things people put in it, that a salad can range anywhere from 1,250 to 2,000 calories. So be careful on what the salad has. The other thing is, number 7, focus on the food you eat by eliminating distractions. I call it mindless eating. Again, we talked about that a little bit. And then number 8, you want to give your body at least 12 to 14 hours of rest between eating. They call it intermittent fasting. And there's different types of intermittent fasting, but most people can do an intermittent fast without realizing it. So let's say you stop eating at 7 o'clock at night and you go to bed at 10 o'clock at night. If your first meal, which is breakfast, which means to break the fast, is at 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning, you've gone 12 to 14 hours. It's not that difficult. And the first thing I do when I get up is have a 16-ounce glass of water, because I want to rehydrate my body from, overnight. So people can do that without, a lot of effort. They're just not realizing it. Again, in the United States, a lot of people watch TV, and as they're watching TV, they're snacking, and it's not healthy snacks. And number 9, keep a positive mindset by focusing on foods you should eat that you enjoy that are healthy for you, and not focusing on what you should not eat and what you shouldn't indulge in. So those are the 9 principles. And I teach people in the book not only what to do, but how to do it. I give a lot of examples and everything. I also give a lot of positive information. And also in the book, what's unique, I tell people how to have an accountability partner, how to find an accountability partner, and how to have an accountability phone call, how to actually do it within 5 minutes. So it's not only what to do, but how to do it.
Right, that's very important. Right, when it comes to focusing on diet, you need to have an accountability partner. That's very important.
Yes,
David,
exactly.
right, incredible insight you've got here concerning the health diet tips. Now, why are you trying to share your 9 health tips, right, for my audience? You mentioned that pure water is very important, right? So I want you to tell me the definition of pure water, because my audience would like to know. Is there anything like pure water and the water?
Okay, in the United States, you can drink distilled water, you can drink spring water, and you can drink reverse osmosis water. So if you ask one expert, they'll say, for example, Paul and Patricia Bragg only drink distilled water. However, their student, Jack LaLanne, only drank spring water and said not to drink distilled water. And then Dr. David Friedman says, drink reverse osmosis water. You don't need to spend money on the spring water or the distilled water. So 3 different experts give you 3 different opinions. So I tell people, drink the water, whether it be distilled, reverse osmosis, or spring water, depending on your preference. And then I get a lot of pushback. Oh, I don't like the taste of water. It's too boring or too plain. So what you can do to add some flavor to it is throw a lemon in, orange, cucumbers, different berries, some watermelon. When you go to resorts, a lot of times they have a big jug of ice water and there's a lot of fruit and berries in there. So why not treat yourself to that yourself every day? And that way you're, yeah.
All right. It's borehole, right? Running water, running tap, right? Bottled water. Is it healthy? Running water from borehole.
Some bottled water is good, some isn't. Some bottled water has flavor added to it, and usually it's an artificial ingredient. Some bottled water isn't more than just tap water that's filtered. Dasante water is produced by Coca-Cola, and in the UK they found that they were just using tap water. Aquafina is manufactured by Pepsi. So again, some of the bottled water isn't that. If I buy bottled water, I either get distilled water, I get purified drinking water, I get smart water, I get Fuji water. There's a couple others. And so just be careful, because the food companies spend millions and millions of dollars on psychologists and marketing experts to sell their product and get you to buy it. Doesn't mean that they work or they're healthy for you. And what I tell people is that, especially here in the United States, just because it's legal doesn't mean it's healthy.
That's right. That's right. Thank you once again, David Medansky, for your insight. Now, how can we access your book?
They can get the book on Amazon, Barnes & Noble. They can go to my website, the antidietadvocate.com. It's ANTIDIETADVOCATE.com, antidietadvocate.com. They can go to their local library. Libraries can order it. They can get an audio version will be ready in about 3 weeks. So there's the Kindle version, there's the paperback, depending on what people prefer.
Right. Do you have any projects in the pipeline you like to share?
I'm working on a food journal as a companion to the book, so that people can track it. I'm working on a journal that's simple to use, not complicated. It'll have inspiration and motivational quotes. It'll have areas in there to check off if they got 8 hours of sleep, check off if they drank enough water as they go through the day, areas for notes. I didn't want to make it too complicated. I want to make it where people can just write it down quickly and go back and review and start self-analyzing their eating habits. because sometimes we can find things in our patterns that we do that we can change. Sometimes we don't know what we're doing. For example,